Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. I'm back in my room. We've got the yes guys behind me. And I know that you guys liked having a little bit of blue on the beach. I will try and do a few more videos in different settings, but welcome back to another one today. This week, as we all know, it's incredibly busy. There is a lot of Chelsea news. There are new updates coming almost by the hour. And the only way that I could really cover it is by doing a 24-hour live stream every day for the rest of the week, which would probably kill me. So for that reason, there'll be 2 uploads a day for the foreseeable future so that I can discuss all of this. Gonna get on a few other Chelsea guys as well to talk with me about things. So later on today, there'll be a second video with another Chelsea YouTuber. I won't tell you who it is, but he's not been on the channel for a very, very long time. So you guys will have to wait and see. But today, we've got some more news. Of course, it's Chelsea. We're doing bits in the transfer window. There are things that have come out that we don't know how true they are, and of course, the first thing we need to address is the medical of Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva's Chelsea medical will be held on Thursday. So all of this is obviously dependent on whether or not Thiago Silva passes the medical. I don't see any reason why, unless he trips down the steps and breaks his ankle in the next 24 hours, there's no reason why Thiago Silva should not pass the medical. So we're going to go in this video today with the thought that Thiago Silva passes the medical with absolutely no worries whatsoever. Now, the thing I want to discuss before we get into that, I've got to do it. I've got to ask you to subscribe to the George Benson football channel so that you never miss a video. And while you're at it, why not hit the like button? See if we can go for 6,000 likes on today's video. Thiago Silva, Chelsea captain. That's the question that I've decided to roll with in the title. I know a lot of you are thinking like, how dare you strip it from Azpilicueta, who just a couple of days ago signed for Chelsea 8 years ago to the day. He was understudy to John Terry. Obviously, Chelsea had an incredibly successful team when Azpilicueta joined the club. He wasn't anywhere near the captaincy when he first joined, but over the years, Cesar Azpilicueta has made his name as one of, well, I think he'll go down as a Chelsea legend when he eventually does retire or when he leaves the club. So, would it be fair, considering we know Thiago Silva is being bought into Chelsea for those leadership qualities, for the experience that he has? He was captain of Paris Saint-Germain, captain of Brazil national team. This man is a captain. He's a born leader. There's absolutely no one in world football who can deny any of the things I've just said. However, Cesar Azpilicueta, what is he as a Chelsea captain? Well, we know he's our longest serving player at this moment of time. He absolutely bleeds the colour blue out of his skin. We see every time he puts on the Chelsea shirt, every time he does an interview. Yes, sometimes I feel as though he kind of deflects things with the language that he uses in some interviews. Although he might not be very big in terms of his size and his height, Azpilicueta is a Chelsea leader. And since he's taken over the captaincy, we've seen that he can still be called upon. Even though obviously Reece James is breathing down his neck in right back, there's always been competition for places in the Chelsea defence because we've not really had a defensive structure ever since Antonio Conte left the club. So, Azpilicueta is currently Chelsea's captain. Do I believe that Thiago Silva, despite all of those qualities he has, should he come in and remove the captaincy straight away from Azpilicueta? Absolutely not. And I'm going to give you my reasons why in a moment. So even though I've said no, one of the key things to remember is in modern day football, a captain doesn't always have to be like a Roy Keane or a Patrick Vieira, or probably the best example there's ever been, a John Terry. The captain doesn't always have to be that big figure in the squad. It doesn't have the same kind of connotations as it maybe once did. So, in terms of who the Chelsea captain is, Azpilicueta, as I've already mentioned in this video, the man does bleed blue. We saw last season that Azpilicueta, despite a really poor overall defensive display from Chelsea throughout the whole of last season, Azpilicueta was one of, if not our best defenders. And even though Ben Chilwell's coming in, which kind of ticks off the left back role, Thiago Silva's coming in, that kind of ticks off one of the problems in centre back, we know that Reece James is breathing down the neck of the right back position if he hasn't already got it. So Azpilicueta, yes, he might not play as many games this season because of these new defending acquisitions, but at the same time, you can't just strip him of the captaincy just because Thiago Silva's knocking on the door. There is also another question that needs to be added into this, and it's that if Azpilicueta remains the captain, Thiago Silva, should he be given the vice-captain's role? Because my question for you guys in the comments, and I really want to know what you think about this. With all the signings that Chelsea have made in the midfield this season, do we think that Jorginho is still going to be a Chelsea player come the start of the season? And if he is, how much of a say is Jorginho going to have in terms of playing minutes this season? So I'm looking at it and I just don't really see, because Jorginho's a system player. He works under certain systems, and I don't think that with all the signings we've made, with the progressions we've seen in Chelsea's attacking football this season, I don't think Jorginho has a future at Chelsea in that kind of philosophy. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I want Jorginho to leave the club. I still believe that Jorginho does have those leadership capabilities that we were severely lacking at times this season. He does still have that killer pass, and he does know how to break up the game, transitioning Chelsea from defence into attack. Jorginho is a very good footballer. But when I look at the players that we've brought in, when I look at what Frank Lampard's trying to do, Jorginho doesn't really fit that mould. And a lot of the players we've brought in do. So for that reason, I think it wouldn't be a surprise if Thiago Silva does pass this medical on Thursday and becomes a Chelsea player. I wouldn't be surprised if he's given the vice-captaincy for this season. I think if he is given the vice-captaincy this season upon signing, then Frank Lampard will probably be looking to get rid of Jorginho. I think it could be one of those little catalyst moments that Jorginho's like, do I stay here at Chelsea for another season, fight for my place? You know, he's kind of won over the fans in the last couple of years, Jorginho, or the last year. Jorginho did win over the fans, but how much more game time is he going to have with Chelsea's developments in this transfer window, new signings, the style of play that we want? It's questionable. I'd love to know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. But regarding the Thiago Silva captaincy, obviously he's not yet signed, so this is all still very much hypothetical, but it is one of the earliest questions that we will know the answer to upon Thiago Silva signing, hopefully tomorrow, when he passes that goddamn medical. So, let me know your thoughts. Thiago Silva, should he come in as captain? Yes, he's probably better material for a captain than Azpilicueta, but in terms of what Azpilicueta has done for this club, what he still offers this club, it's like, did anyone say to John Terry, we're taking the captaincy away from you just because you're not playing 38 Premier League games a season? No, that's not how you do things in football. I don't want to see that happen. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. And the next story that we want to talk about today, I could go over every single one of the awards from Chelsea's Premier League awards from the 1920 season, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about one of them, and it's again another question of a midfielder who a lot of people, when they make these like idealistic Chelsea 11s based off of the signings that we're making, so many people are forgetting about Mateo Kovacic. Now, yesterday, if you didn't know, he won Chelsea's Player of the Year award for the 1920 season, and I did make some comments on GBFC saying that I wouldn't be surprised if Christian Pulisic ended up winning it due to the way that he played post-coronavirus. However, that isn't to say that I'm disappointed that Kovacic has won it. I think it is a thoroughly deserved award for Mateo Kovacic. I think in terms of consistency, last season, Kovacic was one of the most consistent players, and I think that over the whole course of the season, particularly the first sort of 2/3 of the season, Kovacic was by far Chelsea's best player. We saw him dribbling. We had moments where we looked at the loss of Eden Hazard and we're like, God, we miss seeing players just drift past opponents. Mateo Kovacic brought those kind of moments. He brought a solidity in the midfield. He's a hard tackler. He can defend. He was better going forward as the season progressed as well, which is credit to Frank Lampard and the way that Chelsea were trying to develop him. And I think it was a deserved victory for Mateo Kovacic for Chelsea's Player of the Year. Obviously, as always, these videos are nothing without you guys getting involved in the comments down below. So let me know, do you think Mateo Kovacic was the deserved winner? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. There was a lot of other awards as well, a couple of them to note as well. Fikayo Tomori, goal of the season for that wonder strike for his first ever Chelsea goal. Away at Wolverhampton Wanderers, we'll never forget that one. Billy Gilmour also wins Academy Product of the Year, and I think we'll see him develop more with these quality players around him in the first team this season. There could be a lot of questions about minutes for certain midfielders. Billy Gilmour, Jorginho, like we've mentioned today, Kovacic, Kante. How much are these guys going to play? There is a question that I'm going to leave for a later video because I'm going to go into that one in a lot more detail. Chelsea are looking stacked right now. We've got quality all over the pitch. We've still got young players coming through. Let's not forget the likes of Mason Mount as well, who's had a brilliant breakthrough season. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who we certainly haven't seen the best of yet. Ross Barkley as well, how can I forget him? There's going to be some players that are going to leave, and I think there could be a couple that we might not like, but I'm going to get into that one in a later video. Thank you guys for turning up today for yet another GBFC Chelsea news video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, and if you haven't already done so, follow me on Twitter at Mr. George Benson. I'm loving getting involved on there a lot more these days. Also on Instagram, if you want to follow what I'm doing with my life. Follow the Discord server as well, just $1 a month. I'm chatting to you guys there on a daily basis, or mostly every day. Pretty much every day at least. Thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all, and I'll catch you later for video numero dos. See you later. Bye-bye.